I texted Jack and he didn't respond to me, so it's gonna be a
What
surprise.
a prick.
Yeah.
Whoa, I did respond.
Yeah. That right before we started, he texted me, he goes, I just read this text message.
What
Which
a
no big
prick.
deal at all. It's so funny.
All right. Episode 98 of the Fair Enough podcast. It is 2024. Happy New Year to everyone that is still hanging around with us. Going off with a bang here in year 3. Bob in Detroit, Mike in Chicago, Jack in Detroit. Max Crosby, 98.
Connor Bedard, you fuck.
I was hoping that he wouldn't get brought up.
Oh.
There's got to be other sick 98s. DN 98s have got to be a dime a dozen. What was
Robert
DeForest
Mathis
Buckner?
I don't know.
He might be 97, actually.
I think Mathis was for the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a fucking freak in the 2000s.
Yeah, he was.
2010s. Oof,
those
I don't know. Yeah, there's probably a bunch of good 98s, but there's only one perfect little boy.
There is one
perfect young child.
One perfect boy that
the
Hawks rigged the fucking draft to get.
Oh, he's the best. He's so good, dude. I'm so excited
good
for that guy.
And people are already like saying that the William Nylanders of the world, the Brock Bessers of the world, people want to come play with this kid already.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. We'll see
for the Red Wings fan base.
Didn't know that Alex DeBrincat was leading literally leading the Wings in every scoring category.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty good.
We're still scoring a decent amount, but damn, do we let pucks in the net like it's going out of style, dog.
Yeah. It's funny. I was trying to cook up like a point, like who scores a point tonight type of bet today, like literally like 30 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like kind of looking, and I was literally looking at exactly that to see like, okay, the Wings, they kind of score a decent amount. Like, and I was looking at the scores, I was like, holy fuck, they let up a lot of goals. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild.
Stevie Y is going to be cooking at the deadline, I think, to try to make something work to push us into the playoffs. But the Red Wings are the least of my concerns right now. I had maybe everybody here in Detroit and the Mitten had one of the craziest sports weekends I can remember as far as entertaining games go, between the Lions on Saturday and Michigan on Monday. We'll get into both of those, but we have been away for a while. And how are the boys doing? What did you do on New Year's, Michael? I don't even know if we ever went over that.
No, I just went over to my mom's house and did like family friends, real low key. I mean, still up late as fuck, had a good time, but like, yeah, I didn't want to do the going out thing. I'm over. I don't know. It's too much of a hassle, like getting up, getting ready, like too expensive.
You were thinking like, did any of your friends like go downtown?
Literally none of my friend group really did much, which was nice because then I wasn't like
nice.
It wasn't like any of them were like, come on. It was just kind of like, hey, like everyone was doing a little bit here, a little bit there, kind of keeping it with their families. A lot of my friends have families now, like whether they have kids or a wife or, just a girlfriend that they live with, something like that. So a lot of their shit revolves around them. So
it's funny that when you're Jack's age, like when I was Jack's age, at least, I feared that time in my life. Like friends were starting to like grow into like families and things like that. And it's like, holy fuck, the boys are going to be like not able to go out and do fun shit and things like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, on a night like New Year's where you used to have to just grind it out, it was so involved. And now you could just sit on the couch, which is exactly what I did too. Sat on the couch, drank a bottle of wine with Savannah and relaxed. It was so nice. I wouldn't trade that for the world, I used to be scared of that, and now it's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. And I mean, like, too, where even for Christmas, too, I mean, that But like being on a Sunday football, like just
Yep.
something to watch. You got stuff going on. Uh, yeah, it was nice. It was a good time. I did see some crazy shit though. Um, so one of my sister's buddies or whatever, I don't know, was there, and this dude, like, he seemed pretty drunk, but out of nowhere, he just like collapsed backwards, falls, and dude, like, not moving, just starts projectile vomiting upward.
What?
And I was
He was
like,
standing up when this happened?
and then he passed, then he like fell.
Like
We didn't
literally
know.
keeled over.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's dying." Like it was scary.
Yeah,
It was
dude.
scary. It was scary because like,
Jeez.
and like the, not to get gross, but like the puke was like red. I didn't realize that
Oh
he was drinking a
God.
shitload of wine, but I was like,
Oh
"Oh, he's coughing up blood, right? Like he's dying." Like it was
yeah.
just,
Like he was
this is what's
poisoned.
going on. Yeah, it was wild. Then all of a sudden, everyone was like, "Oh, call the ambulance," and then he was like, "Don't call the ambulance." Like he like didn't say shit. Then all of a sudden, he was like, "I'm okay. I just need to lay down." And we're like, "You're dying." Like
Yeah. That doesn't
it
just
was
happen to
wild.
people.
No, it was weird. It was weird as fuck. I that's gross,
Well,
but
I hope
cool,
that
funny.
guy's all right. Shout out to that guy. Parties harder than anybody
Yeah,
that
no
I've ever heard
shit.
of.
No shit, dude. What did you oh, you said you just said the say at the crib.
Yep. Chilled.
Jack, what about you, bud?
I hung out with Audrey and one of her friends. We just went out to dinner in Brighton and then went back to her place and also sat on the couch, and it was magnificent.
Low key weekends for the boys.
Low key weekends.
What
Sounds
was
like
your
we all
best
enjoyed it though.
what was your best Christmas present, Michael?
Well, I didn't get much. We don't do many like gift exchanges.
Mm,
Um I got like a box of golf balls, and then I got a hat and a
what hat?
massage gun. The massage gun was cool.
Ooh, I got a massage gun too, which I'm kind of psyched about. What one did you get?
I don't know. I think it was like, it's just one off of Amazon. It
You-
works
Is
well.
it the sharper image one by chance?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay. I got Savannah's parents got me the sharper image one. I mean, I don't think there's anything crazy about it, but it's just from Costco. But
Mm,
and I literally mentioned it to her one time. Passing through Costco, I was like, "Damn, I really want to get one of those massage guns because it'd be just kind of sick to have." you know.
mhm. Yeah,
But
the thing that sucks though is like they need to make, for a dude like me, like they need to make a wall mount, bro. Like
oh, for sure.
the parts that I need to get to, I
Yeah,
can't get to.
you need it. Yeah, you need another person
Or
for
you
it.
need a bitch. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you know what's funny is that
Th-
like the day after Christmas, like it was that Monday or Tuesday, one of those 2 days, uh I had someone over and I was like, "Hey, I got this massage gun." She fucking
yeah.
she
She was
fucked me up
cranking
for
it
like,
into you.
yeah, she fucked me
Hell
up for a
yeah.
couple minutes. It
She
was a
thought
good time.
she thought she came over for something, but you were just like, yeah.
Yep.
So this is the massage gun that I need help with.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
a job for you.
Yeah. It was all well timed. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was
all that
it. I mean, the
matters.
hat, it's like a hat, like a just an all black, like Bulls hat. We did like not Secret Santa, but we do like a grab bag, and the chick that got me, it's my brother's girlfriend's daughter. I was like, just go on this website, find a hat that doesn't have a socks logo on it, and buy one of these. Like I gave her
Yeah.
like I was like, just buy anything that doesn't have a socks logo on it, and I'll like it because the
Mhm.
style alone. So yeah, no, I didn't get much.
Nice.
Hmm. What'd you
Maya,
get?
well, Maya outdid herself and got Jack and I the coolest thing that you could get somebody, and it's these Fair Enough sweatshirts that we have on. If you're not watching on the YouTube, pop over to the YouTube for a sec just to check out what these sweatshirts look like because they're fucking insane. I'll try to show the best I can. But so mine just says on the front, it's Jack and I have the same thing. Fair Enough, just kind of the logo. And then on the back, I don't know if you can see. Can you see?
Yeah.
Bob in Detroit. Mine says
Bob in
producer
Detroit
Jack.
on the back, and then Jack says producer Jack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Maya, if you're listening,
Yeah.
fucking get on number 3. All right.
Yeah,
She's
mine.
got yours in the works. She's got it.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
was saying
right.
that. She's making Mike in Chicago one too. So, um, if we could sell them for $40 a pop, maybe Maya quits her job at GM. Who knows? That's really the demand would have to be real high because she said they
It
were
would
a
have to be
bitch to
real
make.
high. Oh, I'm sure they're a bitch to make. I
Yeah.
said this once before off air, but who would have thought that out of you 3, the coolest Brennan would have been Maya? I mean,
Yep.
you guys are both pretty cool guys. Jack, you're an asshole, but
Yeah.
don't read my text. But
Yeah.
she takes the cake by a fucking mile. It's unreal.
She does.
Yeah, Maya is the coolest. Agreed.
Yep.
Unfortunate, but it's true.
Growing up with her, you would have never thunk it. She was a fucking goofball. Still is a
she's the coolest.
goofball.
Yeah, I
but-
was gonna say she's still the weirdest person I've ever met in my entire life, and it's not even close. But
Right.
she is cool.
She is cool somehow. in
Yeah,
her
I
own
mean,
way.
there's a graph out there that shows that weird nowadays, especially weirdness and coolness meet at a certain point.
Yeah.
Well, it's more like this. So weirdness goes down and coolness goes up, and there's that
Yeah.
pinnacle of perfection. And then as you get weirder and weirder, the coolness once again it goes back down.
Yeah. Somewhere in there, there's like an intelligence line too, and Maya's
Yeah,
fucking super
yeah,
high
yeah.
on that. So
Yeah,
it's
that
like
splits
that
right
helps.
through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Um,
good. Well, you're caught up
dude.
with fair enough.
Dude, so remember I texted you and I was gonna say something happened to me the other day and I wanted to bring this up on here and
Oh yeah.
I texted Jack and he didn't respond to me, so it's gonna
What
be
a
a
prick.
surprise.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's why before
I
we got
did
on,
respond.
yeah, that right before we started, he texted me, he goes, I just read this text message, which
What a
no big
prick.
deal at all. It's so funny. So I was
Yeah.
at White Castle and mind you, this isn't the first time I've ever done this, so it's embarrassed to admit. So I was ordering food, and it was like 2 of their like breakfast sliders. Then I ordered 4 more sliders, normal. Then
How's
I
the
ordered
breakfast
like,
there?
I think it's top notch to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I get the breakfast sandwich that has it's like a waffle as the bun, and then like sausage, egg, and cheese, and they give you a little bit of syrup.
Oh,
and
I
you
didn't know they
drizzle
were
it on.
doing it like that. We have White
Yeah.
Castles around us too. We didn't have them in Saginaw, so this is new
Yeah.
territory for me. So I just haven't gone. Anyways,
Yeah. So and I ordered I'm sitting at about 6 I actually wrote the whole thing down. I'm gonna make sure I get this right. I'm sitting at 6 sliders, and mind you, the breakfast ones are a little bigger. And then I got
the behemoth.
and then I got a 5-piece mac and cheese bites, and then a 6-piece chicken ring with the barbecue sauce. So I got a pretty big order, right? So
Yeah.
as I'm finishing this order up, I go, they're like, what kind of sauce do you want? And I was like, I think he wants barbecue with those. And because I was too embarrassed to admit that I fucking this was all for me. So I wanted to make it seem like I was ordering all this for 2 people, so the White Castle people didn't think I was a fat fuck rolling around the drive-through.
Yeah. You turned around to the back seat. What else do you guys want?
Yeah. I
Keep
thought
it
it was
down
hilarious.
back there.
Yeah, it reminded me of that Key and Peele sketch where he's fucking ordering all the pizzas for like his little action figures. But
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Doesn't he do that? He looks in the back and he's like talking
Yeah.
to him. Yeah,
Let me
okay,
gauge
that's
the
where I got that
room.
from.
yeah, let me gauge the room. Yeah,
Let me gauge the room.
and I was wondering, like, what
That's so good.
have you ever done anything like that where like you were so embarrassed and ashamed of yourself mid like order or like action that you were like, let me create a fake human scenario where it doesn't make me feel as horrible about myself.
Yeah, I've definitely done that. Like, I've definitely done that on the phone before. Like, if I've fucked something up, like I've even done this in sales before, like especially early on. If I fuck something up, like I'll just hang the phone up and then call back and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that." Like the call dropped, and then where were we? And don't even really remember. And it's like, all right, let's start on something new.
Oh, dude, I do the same thing, but I'll go grab one of my coworkers' phones and just call with their phone.
Ooh,
I'll
smart.
be a whole different person for this next phone call.
Yep. What
Okay.
accent do you do?
Dude, I have tried some accents, but it's so hard because a lot of times I have to work with people over like the course of the loan. So like,
So you have to
so if you
keep
start
talking
in
to
the
'em.
accent, you have to keep it up, and it's a real pain in the ass.
You're dedicated to the role. That's what it's all about.
Jack's just
Hello.
got a whole notes list of
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the clients, and he has like in parentheses English,
Yeah.
Australian,
German.
fucking
Yeah.
Indian. Yeah. And like, what are these
Fake
notes next to
names
these
and shit.
clients, Jack? That's just where they're from. It's not the accent
Yeah.
that I do on the phone or
Yeah, it's
anything.
definitely not the accent. Don't worry
Dude, you
about it.
gotta relate to people. If your dad drove trucks, so did my dad, you know?
Right. Very true.
Yeah.
Very
You are
true.
Man.
from India? I am also
That's the
from
only one
India.
he uses. If we're being real honest.
God, that's funny. That's too funny.
That is good shit though, Michael.
Yeah, that's so funny, dude.
You've been on a fast food bender this week.
Dude,
I mean,
yeah,
diet
man.
starts Jan too. So I
No.
mean, now we're here, but this last week you took I also took advantage, but you took advantage too.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm off and I'm like just doing like I don't have time, I'm just fucking I get after it.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, fuck it.
Calories don't count in December though. I think everybody kind of just goes that way, you know.
Yeah, fair.
Then you burn them
And
out.
also,
Take a couple walks in January.
I
Everybody will be
I
fine.
also don't give a shit about that. Like, I mean, I am what I am. I am who I am. We are who we thought they were. You know, I used to be like, man, I want to start working out. I still do want to start like working out just for like stamina reasons. I don't even give a fuck about
Right.
losing weight. Like, I just want my heart and I want to be able to run down the basketball court without dying after the first time. Like,
Yep.
I don't give a shit how fat I am.
I feel the same way.
So it's just like, you know what? I don't give a fuck at this point. Like, I'm 30. I'm not a obese fat fuck. I wouldn't
No.
mind trimming a little bit off, but I'm not gonna work towards it. Like, it's just too much.
Yeah, no, that is a good way to put it. You just want to be, you
Oh,
just don't want to be totally embarrassed when playing sports. I think that's where I want to get. I want to be
Yeah.
in the action.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's weird though. Like, if I were to run, like, if you were to tell me, Mike, go outside right now and run down the block, I would come back absolutely gassed, wouldn't be able to move. But if you put me on the court or on the field or something like that, and I have to run a sprint, like, I will go hard until I have a legitimate opportunity to take a break, where it's like that competitive nature just takes over,
It does.
and you were like, holy fuck, I should be way more tired. And then 20 minutes later when you're done, you're like,
You catch that
but
second wind.
yeah,
I think the only place you really die that I've noticed, not you, but me, anybody, is when you get back into playing hockey. Like
Oh,
that, even if
man.
you have that competitive nature in you, like there just gets a point like 3 shifts in where you're like, oh, like my legs won't move. Like it literally feels like you're in fucking cement. That is the worst feeling in the world.
That's a whole different animal though, man. Just because like the labor that goes into like your back too, like just skating. If you haven't skated in a bit, like just that extra, your balance is a little off, and all of a sudden now every part of me's hurting, and not just my lungs.
Yep.
Where dude, fucking hockey, that's a whole nother goddamn animal. I know I never played competitively, but fuck, dude.
It's
You
different
just
because they're muscles
yeah,
that
it
you would
does.
never use unless you're playing hockey.
No,
That's
yeah.
all they're there for.
Dude, and hockey hurts even when you're in season.
Like in shape, yeah, I'm
Mhm.
sure.
Like,
Yeah.
even like there were sometimes you'd go play up north and the rink would be so cold. Like you're breathing in frozen air the whole
Oh,
game.
yep.
And then your
Mhm.
face hurts, your throat hurts, your lips hurt,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
then your back's fucked, of course, because you're playing hockey. I don't know, dude. That
Yep.
shit really does take a fucking toll on you. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
I'll
Weird
say it.
feeling.
I've probably said it 100 times on this podcast. Like going from like those days in high school where we'd do hockey practice in the morning. This was in November. Hockey practice in the morning and then football practice in the afternoon. Like those first couple of hockey practices, you'd be like, "Oh, I've been working out every day since July, like I should be good. You get on the ice, dude, you're like, I feel like I haven't worked out a single day because every
Yeah.
muscle for hockey is different than running in football. Like it's
Well, dude, I
insane.
was just gonna say too, those first couple weeks of football, like when you go from nothing to helmets,
Yep.
right? And that first day that you have a helmet on your head for 3 hours,
Oh, it's
you
impossible.
you wake up the next morning and you feel like your neck was made of concrete. Like
Yeah,
there's no moving this thing and you're not even gonna fucking try it.
you're
Dude, football
absolute.
helmets are way too goddamn heavy. I think that's a freaking problem.
They are. I think they probably fixed that at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I
Yeah.
have to assume. Speaking of football, the NFL versus the Detroit Lions is a saga that we have been dealing with my entire 28 years of existence. For whatever reason, I woke up on Saturday and I had a bad fucking feeling. Not about the game, but about what may take place in the game. And because every time we go to Dallas, something bad happens. Whether we get our fucking doors blown off, whether Alex Hitchens completely interferes with Brandon Pettigrew and blows our chance at moving on in the playoffs for the first time ever, or whether Jerry Jones calls down to Brad Allen, who was refereeing the game on Saturday, and says, 68 didn't report eligible, 70 did. And that's what you're going to tell him, Brad. And that's what Brad told him. He got on the microphone, said Dan Skipper reported eligible, and the Lions fucking lost a game that everybody in the country, including even Stephen A. Smith, said that they won. Thoughts, Michael? You and I talked a little bit about it when we were playing vids, but I just wanted to get your perspective, refs, full-time shit, thoughts on all of it.
Yeah, who's my thing is who is to like who's right? You know, granted, I don't know all the rules in terms of like protocol and like what is considered properly reporting. You know what I mean? Like you can go talk to the referee. No, did what's his name? Skipper? What the fuck? The guy who caught the ball? Decker, right?
Decker did, yep.
So like, did Decker
68.
actually? Yes, yes. Like, did he actually say, "Hey, like, what is that conversation like?" That's and I'm gonna kind of ramp off, go off topic for a second, and it's kind of like this Jair Alexander thing that's going on where he fucking went out at Carolina at the coin toss and they
Mm-hmm.
won the toss and he wanted defense. He said, "Hey, I want to play defense." And they were
Yeah.
like, "Hold on, are you sure you don't want it?" They're like, "You," and he's like, "Do you want to defer?" And he's like, "You know what I meant." Where it's like, "No, dude, you got to be clear cut." Fucking boom, where it's like he almost fucked them and just said, "Hey, we want to play defense," and then they'll get the ball at halftime and the beginning, instead of
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Hey, I want to defer to defense," Um, so I don't know what the conversation was. Obviously, Taylor Decker's probably in there like, yeah, dude, I fucking reported properly, this, that, and the other thing. And obviously the ref is whatever his bullshit excuse was saying, oh, A70 reported and
Yeah.
whatever. And then 70 was covered up. So that was making an illegal formation. Also,
Mm-hmm.
like it's just kind of like who knows? Obviously, I think it's bullshit. I think that they fucked off.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Lions got snubbed. But I don't know
It's
why
tough
this
to
shit's
say. It's a
it
he said,
is.
she said. It's a classic he said, she said, and it was like that immediately after the game when Decker got got a microphone in front of him. He said, "Yep, I reported. We had practiced this all week, as you assume that they do. Like this is a huge play. They think that they might need either for a touchdown on the goal line or." In this case, a 2-point conversion.
2-point conversion.
So it was like, hey, you need to report. Like this is what you need to do. Where
Yeah.
people are saying like the Lions fucked themselves was they sent Dan Skipper into the play late, who didn't say a word. And this is what Dan Skipper said after the game when reporters were talking to him. They were like, "Did you talk to Brad Allen, the head referee, at all when you went over there?" And he was like, "I didn't say a word." And Brad Allen may have assumed this because Skipper normally is our guy that comes in and reports. So whenever the refs watch film, I'm sure they say, okay, 70 reports a
Yeah.
lot, whatever. But he had only
Yeah.
reported once in the game, and it was in the first quarter. That was the only time Skipper ever reported as eligible. And where people are saying the Lions fucked up is they had Skipper come in. It confused Brad Allen. But if you watch the video, which everybody has seen by now, Taylor Decker's standing right fucking in front of him, telling him, I'm reporting as eligible. Like, yeah, we're trying to do this weird thing where maybe we throw Dallas off for a second. Probably not, though, because obviously the ref still has to go over and tell Dallas, hey,
Yeah.
68's
This guy's
eligible.
eligible.
Yeah, so it really does nothing. Maybe it does a little head game thing, but probably not that much. But for the NFL to be like, this is on the Lions is fucking crazy to me, because after watching the video, how can you get more in front of a person than Decker was in front of the referee saying, I'm eligible, scraping the jersey, or saying it too. And then he decides, like, in his brain, he can't process that. He goes too fast, runs over to Dallas, and says the wrong fucking thing. Like,
so my thing is, I mean, yeah, and I agree. I think it's, I don't know. I want to, talk shit about the Lions and be like blah 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 now, but it's like it just seems like a missed call. It just seems like one of those things where time and time again, the NFL refs just fuck something up somewhere along the way. But do you think that, okay, ref goes over to Dallas, hey, 68's report eligible, is 68 as wide open as he was?
that's it. I don't know. That's it. I
And
don't
that's
know. And we'll
the,
never know
we're
that.
like,
We'll never know
yeah,
that. That's what's fucked up
exactly.
about it.
It's
I
like,
thought about that a million times too. Like, would he
yeah,
have been that open? And he wasn't even really open. There was a
yeah,
guy near him that almost
but
made a play, but
it's like you don't. But as a defensive lineman, all you think is this guy is illegally downfield,
right.
or a lineman, like this isn't. Granted, hey, do they even know in the fucking moment? Like, there's so much shit moving parts. Like, fuck. But I don't know. It sucks because they locked themselves into the 3 seed, right? With that, or do they still have a chance at the 2 seed?
No, they pretty much, I think Dallas and Philly would both have to lose, like crazy shit like that. And I'm totally content with, at this point, I'm content with a Dallas win. Dallas beats Washington. They win the division. They're the 2 seed. Lions have another chance to go back to Dallas and play them again in the NFC Championship, which is what I want, what I think America would want too. If that had a chance to happen, that rematch had a chance to happen, I think everybody would be fully on board with that.
So right now the Lions are looking at playing who are they
The
looking at
Rams.
playing right now?
Right now, it'd be
That
Matt
sucks.
Stafford coming to Ford Field, which would
And then
be wild too.
Who would the Eagles be playing?
The Eagles would be playing probably like the winner of the NFC South, which is gonna be like the Saints or something.
Yeah, I forgot about that division.
Yeah,
Okay,
they'll play.
Okay.
They'll be the top wild card, so they'll play the worst division winner, which will be whoever comes out of it. Whoever, by the grace of God, wins the South.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That sucks, but it is what it is. Hopefully they. I don't think this burns them throughout the season. I don't think this affects anything really going forward. Yeah, maybe a little bit of positioning, but there still was a good chance that the Lions didn't get the 3 seed or the 2 seed anyway, even though the fucking Eagles did lose to the Cardinals, but still.
Right. If anything puts another chip on these guys' shoulder, which is not what the NFC wants. Like,
yeah,
just continuing to pile on and be like, all right, here's another reason to be pissed off. Here's another reason to be pissed off. It's like, dude, like, these guys don't need any. It feels like, we'll talk about this in a minute, but it feels like Michigan situation to me almost. It's like all the things that have happened to Michigan this year, self-inflicted, non-self-inflicted, all of that shit ended up culminating into a team that was so together that they were unbeatable. I'm not saying that the Lions are going to get there because there's plenty of really good teams in the NFL, but that's the mentality, right? Like, if eventually bad shit keeps happening to you and you're a good enough team to get through it and gritty enough to get through it, then it might end up being a good thing for you. I think
Yeah, and
that's where
it's
we
just
get.
yeah. No,
Yep.
that's fucking is what it is. But I mean, you guys all know that the best team in the NFC North. I mean, dude, we're back. I don't care what anyone says. We're
Yeah,
back.
are the Bears
The,
back? What if
the
the
Bears are
Bears?
back.
What if the Bears were in the playoffs? Do you think you guys win a game? Like,
I could see the.
say
I,
you draw
I don't
the
think.
Cowboys.
I don't think we could.
I think you could beat the Cowboys
I
or the
think we,
Lions.
dude.
Honestly.
Honestly, right now though, I don't know. We've been playing a lot of bad teams, thankfully, but like,
Mhm.
I mean, we're fucking maybe like 9 total minutes away from being a 10-win team right now. So, um,
So
two
what do you
games we
do?
lost, we had a 99% probability of winning. We lost 2 of them. Okay,
Yeah, that's tough. You're right.
Fun. And if we win 2 of the 3, we're locked in the playoffs. Anyways, I'm not gonna dwell on that bullshit. Well, what do we do? I think I think to me, I think Justin Fields and Eberflus saved their jobs last week.
You think?
Um, I do think, man.
That seems to be like it's been brought up so much that I agree with you. Like now it's such a talking point that at this point, how do you deny those guys? I mean, Eberflus, I could see you denying. Justin Fields to me is fucking tough to say.
So, I
We're not signing this guy.
where
We're
do you
keeping this
like?
guy.
Where do my thing is? I don't know. I was maybe we are telling you over like playing vids or whatever, but like the guy is a defensive minded coach, right? They go and
Mhm.
buy this defense. They get all these guys, blah blah blah. Okay, first couple of weeks, growing pains, this and anything, but like since week like 3, dude. First of all, the rush defense all year long, but like since like week like 3 or 4, it's like, dude, we've been a fucking top defense every goddamn week, points allowed, yards, like shit like that, and it's like you can't deny that what he brought in defensively, like as a whole, is not coming to fruition. Like this is
For
exactly
sure.
what Poles and Eberflus wanted. Exactly. So it's like, yeah, it's tough because you're the head coach, and when the offense isn't working, the head coach is the first one that gets looked at. But like, that's not his forte. That's not what he was brought in for.
Yep.
And I think that with a couple of wins and you get a healthy Fields and he like really starts playing well and you start winning a little bit, they're kind of like this year's Lions of last year. Not as good, but fucking damn near. And we have
But going
so
in the
much,
right direction.
yeah, where it's like, why? I think you keep Fields. And I think Poles is a smart guy. And I know you take the fans' word for shit because the fans are fucking stupid, but the city wants Justin Fields, dude. They were
Yeah,
chanting "We want Fields" at the game. Like,
I saw that. That's
so, like
awesome. For
the
him, that's
city
awesome. I
wants,
hate it
yeah,
because he fucking shreds us, but it's awesome for him.
exactly. So the city wants him, dude. Like, listen to the people, bro. Listen to the people. We have the number 1 overall pick. You can trade that thing back, get mad picks, and still you can get, even if you don't get Harrison, you can get Odunze, you can get fucking Neighbors if you want to go that wide receiver direction.
Yep.
Or we can get, Washington. There's rumors that Washington would be willing to give us like McLaurin and 2 first rounders. Where it's like, you know, we could do a DJ Moore trade all over again and have 2 of that. And it's like
I was gonna
there's so
say.
many options
Yeah.
where we're at that it's like, dude. I mean, honestly, I'm not impressed with Caleb Williams. I'm not impressed with Drake May. And I mean, if they ever took another North Carolina quarterback, I would boycott forever. But that's
Yeah.
the point. Like,
I think it's just
but,
tainted at this point.
yeah, where it's like, unless you're going like Jaden Daniels or like even like take like a Penix or a JJ McCarthy, it's like, I don't know. I think Fields is good enough. I don't know. I just feel like I know that the rookie contract is only a couple years, but like this is what a rebuild is. You get your guy, and now he's showing that he can finish a couple of games.
Yep.
Still not
And
perfect.
that was your qualm with him, and you've said that since the
100%.
beginning of the season. The guy can't
Yeah.
finish games, and that's one of the biggest things in the NFL because every
Yeah.
game is a single digit spread. You need to be able to finish games. Like when you have the ball in
100%.
your hand, that's like it's last possession fucking wins half the time. So
Yeah, exactly. You got to be the guy that everyone wants to have the ball in the hands, not fuck. How is Fields going to fuck this up again? Like, so,
exactly.
and against some shittier teams, but we beat the Lions. Like,
Yep.
we beat a, so fucking, I don't know, man. I just think if you're going to go quarterback, like, fuck it. Don't take someone this year with that early pick, dude. Because no matter what, whoever's gonna be throwing the ball is gonna need an O line. Is gonna need receivers. Let fucking Fields. I would extend him today because then we can get him for cheap. Because if they do keep him and he has a good year next year, now we're paying him fucking max contract, Daniel Jones or some shit, and not
Right.
we might fuck around and get got. So, but
Yeah, you're right. If you decide you want to keep him, just go all in and sign him for 4 years and say, fuck it,
yeah,
we're doing it.
that's what I would do personally. Because then you could still draft a quarterback of
Right.
like maybe next year. But whatever. I'm just saying that Ryan Poles, if you're listening, come on the pod first of all. 2,
We'd love to have you.
listen to the fucking fans, man. I know that doesn't always mean shit, but like I really hope he does that. And I think he's been really good and has really made good moves that he knows that the city's gonna like and the team's gonna like. And I think he's gonna make the right move and keep old Jay Fields. But let's move on to more important, reasonable or meaningful football.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk fucking college.
Let's do it. Wait, before we go to college,
Oh,
I want to
sorry,
talk about my quarterback really quick.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Because our guy, old Jordan Goff, has been getting a lot of fucking flack around here. People are calling in today, dude. Calling in today still to the radio. Jared Goff just doesn't have it. Like, he's just not the guy. Like, Jared Goff was the reason that we lost that game. Saying things that literally make zero fucking sense and nobody has a point to back it up. It's the craziest shit in the world to me. And let me put some things into perspective for anybody that's listening that might think that Jared Goff isn't a good quarterback or isn't helping this team win. Number one, the most obvious one. The Lions have won their first NFC North title, not in 20 years, ever. Ever. The first NFC North title ever. Number two, there are 132 FBS football teams. We're just taking college. So there's 132 starting quarterbacks. There are about 20 quarterbacks that are even fucking worth a damn in the NFL that you can even say, all right, this guy's good enough to be an NFL starter. There's 12 guys in the NFL right now that are starting that people are probably like, I wish I had somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff is that somebody else that those teams wish that they had. It doesn't take a Patrick Mahomes. It doesn't take a Josh Allen. It doesn't take a Lamar Jackson to win a Super Bowl in this league. It takes a good fucking team, and it takes a guy that doesn't turn the ball over, and it takes a guy that makes mistakes and makes up for it. And that's what Jared Goff does. He makes a fucking mistake. That second interception that he had, bad fucking throw. That's an out route. You need to be able to hit that. That's an NFL throw. It's a bad throw. Guy made a great play. The screen pass interception, 1 in a million Jordan Lewis jumps that route. 1 in a million he made. That was an incredible play by Jordan Lewis. Shout out to the Michigan man, Cass Tech corner out of Detroit. Jared Goff is one of 20 guys in the NFL that can make a fucking difference. He's Eli Manning. He's Nick Foles. He's Joe fucking Flacco. He's Matt Stafford. Guys that maybe aren't the best. He's not running around the football field doing everything for his team. You know why? Because he doesn't have to. Because that's not the automatic win the Super Bowl formula. It's just not. It's just what people think now because Patrick Mahomes is good. Look at Patrick Mahomes this year. Team not so hot around him. Boys ain't looking so good. If you got a good football team around, you can make anybody look decent. And if you have a guy, like I said, that can make mistakes, understand the mistakes he made, come back and make a fucking throw on the next drive, that is a guy that you want to keep and you want to hang on to for dear life. Because there are, like I said, 20 being generous in this league.
Yeah.
Don't come at my guy. That's all I got to say about that. And if
Hey,
and I don't even want to say his fucking name, but if you think that Hendon Hooker is the answer, let's go back to what I said a minute ago. There are 130 FBS quarterbacks. You know how many make it? 1 every 2 years probably is good.
Yeah.
So to say that Hendon Hooker, a guy coming off an injury that we took in the 4th round, is automatically going to be the answer and putting us in a better situation, a better position to win like that, that's a 1 in 1,000 chance that he's going to be good. It just is. I'm sorry, everybody. It just is. I want him to be good. I would love if Hendon Hooker came in after Jared Goff and was disgusting and he's like this amazing quarterback and then we put an amazing team around him. That'd be sick. I'm not wishing any ill will against Hendon Hooker. I hope he's awesome. But it's not snap of a finger. Hendon Hooker's the answer. We're going to start winning playoff games. We got the guy that's going to get us there. He's already getting us there. Yeah. He's been there. Arguably with the worst team. We got Todd Gurley. We got Jared Goff. We don't have Aaron Donald, but we got Hutch and we got Lee McNeil. Like, we got other guys. We have a team that can make a fucking run, and we'll have a team that can make a run next year. We'll have a team that can make a run the year after that. For the first time in our lives, we have a team that fucking matters. And part of it is because of number 16. Okay?
I love that. Passion.
So everybody out there that still thinks maybe Jared Goff's not the guy, go do a little bit of research on those 12 teams that fucking would count their lucky stars to have Jared Goff. I digress.
I love it. I've been on
the Michigan Wolverines won the Rose Bowl.
They did.
That was. What are you? Before I say anything, do you think it was an awesome game or do you think it was kind of a boring game? Because it feels like people kind of have mixed feelings on this.
I thought it was boring. I thought it was a boring game. I'm not saying it wasn't a good game. I'm not saying that it wasn't, but it was stagnant for like 30 minutes straight.
It was
of like clock, not
it was
like
sandwiched.
real time. Like,
it was second and third quarter stunk.
First
and fourth were awesome. It was kind of weird.
And honestly, even the fucking even the fourth quarter or the first quarter kind of stunk a little bit. Like, if you don't,
nobody was moving the ball.
That's what I'm saying. You don't muff that punt, whole different story. And then there was literally one drive, and then it was just a bunch of just nothing good.
Right.
I mean, I thought it was boring. I don't think it wasn't. I don't think it was non-entertaining. To me, I don't think it was like a great game to be like, this was what we expected. I thought there was going to be fireworks in that game. The over did hit it, but it took overtime, obviously. But
yep.
Yeah, I thought that game was going to be. I'm not gonna lie. I expected more out of both offenses, like just as a whole. Like, I thought JJ looked very scared at first. The whole team, the whole Michigan team looked like they were terrified the first fucking.
Everybody, everybody on the offensive side of the ball, at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Defense came out flying, but the offensive side of the ball, they were like, "Holy shit, this is tough."
Well, even on like the touchdown run, what's his name, Sandstrill, or how do you say his name?
Mike Sandstrill. Yep.
He got absolutely. I mean, granted, it was a good like little juke, but like, dude, McClellan literally put him in a fucking blender. Where it's like, I don't know. It's like, go after him. Like, try to dive. Don't break down. Like, he had whatever. That's beside the point. Where I was like, oh, this is gonna get bad fast after that, and then everyone settled in. JJ still didn't look great, but that defensive line, man, was unreal. And they said, we'll put the team on our back until the offense wants to figure it the fuck out. It was a good game, man. But I thought it was a little boring. Like you said, there was like 30 straight minutes of clock time. That was just nothing.
Yeah, I agree. And during those, I mean, sick. Michigan came out flying, 5 sacks in the first half. College football playoff game record for halftime sacks. Not something I saw coming because not that Bama's O-line was like world beaters this year, but they had couple SEC guys, couple All-American guys. Like, they had guys there who's their fucking Bama. So, like, they're going to have that. So to have 5 sacks and a half, I was like, damn, did not see that coming.
And that Moreau he's so fucking elusive and gets out, like, that is his thing. Like, gets out of trouble and makes shit happen. the fact that they were able to get home without letting him bounce out. He did like once or twice in the first, but like not really. They were nothing that impressive. He had to work a few times he did.
I think
So
the story of the game for both offenses was just being behind the sticks. Both offenses were always behind the sticks. It was always 2nd and 9, 3rd and 7, and like these plays where like first down for whatever reason didn't work. And I think Bama in the beginning of the game was really trying to force the big play. Like Milroe on these big dropbacks where he's getting killed, and like they're trying to throw the ball when they didn't really need, like, I think the recipe to beat Michigan would have been to run the ball with Milroe, and they just really didn't try to do that. They were trying to go for the home run right away, and I think it kind of bit them in the ass. And then once they tried to start establishing the run after that, Michigan was just all over it and putting them in second and stagnant. And then the second and third quarter, they did the exact same thing to Michigan, and holy fuck, was all of the creativity and the motions and everything that Michigan did in, the first half was gone in the second half. I don't know what happened to the play calling, but like Michigan came out in the first half and the game plan was, how we're going to beat Bama? We don't have the talent. We don't have the speed. We're going to outthink them. And that's what they did in the first half. They outcoached them on offense. And the second half got real fucking stagnant. And that kind of bit them in the ass to the point where in the fourth quarter, I think everybody in the country was looking around like, Michigan's about to lose this fucking game. Like, if Bama gets one more first down, this thing's over.
Yeah.
And then they get to that 4th and 2, and they punt the ball away. Would you have punted there on that 4th and 2, like mid-ish field? Where were they? They were like their own 40, I think, is where they were.
You know what? You know what's kind of crazy, dude? Like, this is how so I thought that it was a wrap myself. I stopped watching.
You
I stopped
did?
watching for like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And I missed that drive. And then all of a sudden I come back out and Michigan's got the ball at the fucking, I don't know, what was it, the 8-yard line, and they scored to go to OT. And I was like, what the fuck happened? Like,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I don't remember where I stopped, but I was like, fuck. Like, I was paying attention on my phone a little bit, but I was trying to grind guns on shipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So what was the situation?
So they had a chance to like go for it and ice the game. And, because Michigan was out of timeouts at that point or whatever, and they had a chance to go for it and ice the game, and they didn't. And I think a lot of people were kind of thinking like, okay, in this situation, I might have gone for it. But if I'm Bama, I'm punting it every time. Michigan wasn't moving the ball at that point at all. Like, I'm punting the football. Every single time I'm punting the football. And they were also trying to get into like field goal range where they could have iced the game, like, because it was 20-20 at this point when they could have gone for it. So they could have, I'm sorry, I misspoke on earlier. There was 20-20 at this point. So Bama could have got the first down, hurried up and got to like their Michigan's 40, and then that kicker for Bama is like, he's the next Jake Moody.
I know.
This is when Bama punted to Michigan, and
Yep.
Michigan almost lost it for the safety.
Yeah. So I was watching. Okay, I was watching at that point. I would not have gone for that. No, not worth it. It's not worth it because, like you said, I just thought that. Yeah, like, to me, I thought Alabama was weirdly the better offense in the game until the last 2 drives, including overtime. The drive they scored, and then the Blake Corum 2 touchdowns or two play runs. So I would have punted too. And I mean, dude, think about it. They muffed a punt. They fucking almost fucked that one up there. Like, there's Michigan special teams was in absolute disarray. Like, fuck it. Maybe they'll make one more mistake, and they almost freaking did.
You know who runs the special teams for Michigan?
The Mount
Jim's son.
Blind? I don't know. Oh, well, he's fired. He's a
Jay Harbaugh. I can't believe he wasn't grounded mid-game, dude. At halftime, I'm shocked he came back out. Like, that was crazy,
dude.
That
was insane.
And I think I made this point in the group chat, but like I know that Samaj Morgan, who's our freshman, he's that number 82 kid, super fast, electric kid, and he fumbled or muffed the first punt, but then he caught another one after that later in the game. And then they put a new kid in
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, I understand the kid muffed one, but you're going to put a fresh guy in there that hasn't seen
Yeah.
a ball in the air all day? Like, that's an insane move to me. That made no sense. And I'm telling my guy, no matter what, don't touch the football. If they down us
Yeah,
at the one, they down us at the one.
that's what I was gonna say. What the fuck are you trying to call a fair catch at the 3-yard line for?
Yep.
If you're gonna return it, that's one thing. But once you
Yep.
are like, "Oh, I'm fair catch," get the fuck out of the way, dude.
I'm
Get
telling
out of
him,
the way.
and this isn't even hindsight's 2020. This is just football. I'm telling him, stand at the 15. If the ball seems like it's sailing over your head, let it go.
Boom. Exactly.
That's it.
100%, dude.
Like, it's that fucking
I
easy.
agree. I almost wouldn't have put a guy back there.
That's what a lot of people were saying today too. Like as I
Why
was
the fuck
listening,
give
I
it
was
even a
listening to
chance?
McAfee and all these other people, and people were like, "Why was there even a guy back there after the day that they've had?"
Seriously. And I mean, dude, you know, weird thing, like a weird no call on that roughing the punter. Like,
Yep, very weird no
dude,
call. That was very obvious to me,
yeah.
especially
I
when
mean, the most
watching it, even watching it
blatant.
live, but
Yeah,
especially the
you're like,
replay. And then they definitely made up for it when JJ got fucking hip tossed out of bounds. They were like, all right, whistles are staying away, which they did. I thought the refs did a good job. Like they missed
yeah,
those
they
two
let him
calls.
play.
They just let
Yeah.
him play all day. There wasn't a single holding call, which is crazy for two
Mhm.
teams that run as much as they do, you know?
Yeah.
And like Michigan, how many sacks they had. Like normally you'd think there'd be like a hold somewhere if Michigan's getting through. So wild
Yeah.
day, wild game.
I
Uh,
I I think that Michigan team loses to the Washington team that we saw last night.
you think so?
I do. But that you never know. I mean, also Washington played Texas, which defensively is a way different animal than Michigan. So like,
Mhm.
you know, you put up 37 points and shit. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they need to clean it up. Even dude, even like first half, a lot of like third downs, right? That the Morgan kid, I mean, that was the one that JJ threw 200 miles an hour, but right through his hands would have been a
Right
first
through his
down.
hands was tough. Yeah, that
The
was
kid, number 8, the kid who scored that one touchdown on a third down, it was like 3rd and 8, catches the ball and trips over the fucking 20-yard line. He needed like one more yard to get a first down. Doesn't get
yep.
touched, falls, doesn't get it. Edwards dropped a third down pass. Granted, I don't think he was going to be able to make a move to get that first down, but like just so many miscues on important downs, and they couldn't get their playmakers the ball because Alabama schemed for it. But those you know the third, fourth, fifth option, you got to make a play. You know, so if
I
they
think
clean that up, that's a different story.
that's what I mean, and I think it's almost like not a regression, but a progression to the mean here, where like that was one of the worst efforts that Michigan could have had offensively. Still won the
Yeah,
game on the back of the
yeah,
defense,
hmm
but the thing like. And I was going to talk about this anyway because I wanted to throw out a prediction before. Obviously, this is the last show before the national championship. I think Washington does cover the 4.5, but I think Michigan wins. And I'm even like worried saying that they cover the 4.5, and here's why. Texas and everybody else this year ran all over Washington. Texas, their top 3 guys were Baxter, Blue, and Ewers. 7 yards a carry, 7 yards a carry, 7 yards a carry.
it's
Like,
crazy.
that's bad.
Yeah,
And if Michigan is giving Blake Corum the rock 30 times, it might be like Michigan might have the ball for 40 minutes in this game. Washington can't be that electric on offense if they don't have the fucking ball. Like if
yeah,
Michigan, the one thing that could kill Michigan is getting down in the game early because then they have to play Washington ball, and we don't want to do that. If Michigan can force Washington to play slow down Michigan football where it's like, fuck, they scored again. It was another 8-minute drive, and now we got to come out there and try to score. And if we don't, we're fucked because they're just going to keep running it down our throats, eventually wearing us down to the point where it's like Michigan's got to stay out of second and long, second and stagnant, got to stay in front of the sticks, and they can't get down early. I think those are the 2 keys of the game. I think if they can do that, they win.
yeah. I think I think a big part of it is so obviously they're gonna limit the fucking possessions that the other team has, like you just said. Like even this game the other day, like there was for how many 3 and outs? like they didn't have that many possessions, like
No,
both teams, you know. So it's like
so it was a slow
if you
game,
can, yeah, if you can
which is what
slow the
Michigan
game up,
wants.
yeah, slow the game up, get there. It's execution though in the red zone. You can't miss field goals, can't turn the ball over on the plus side of the field. And I think that just because their O and D line, I think they can dictate the line of scrimmage all game and
Yep.
kind of play their game. I think that if you limit, like I said, I think if you limit any mistakes on the plus side of the field and you get points when you're supposed to, I I think Michigan should win. They're a better team. I mean, they got just as much talent. It's just you got to be smart. And I think also too game planning defensively, man. Like, what do you do? Just stop the big play and I don't know, try to get him to down and distance. Like I don't know. Like,
And that's
what do you do? Because
I
Washington's a
think
weird team. They have so many more dynamics.
they are. They're a fascinating matchup, and I think the most intriguing matchup of the game is going to be Will Johnson and Josh Wallace, Michigan's two corners. Will Johnson's first round NFL guy in the upcoming draft, and then Josh Wallace, sick transfer. Those two guys against McClellan and Odunze is going to be an unbelievable matchup. Like that's four NFL guys battling it out right there, and that's gonna be like if Washington's gonna do it, they're gonna have to wear those guys into the ground. And Odunze and McClellan are two guys that are definitely capable of doing that because I was like watching a guy break down their routes and the way that Penix throws the ball to them, like everything that these receivers do, like they don't mess up. Routes are crisp. They catch the ball every time. Like they have great body awareness, and Penix throws the ball where only they can get it every single time. It's not 50-50 balls. It's a 90-10 ball, 90-10 ball, 90-10 ball. So got to make him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
I hate to say this. I want Washington to win, but like
fuck you.
I don't care who wins. I know. I just like this. This Washington team has faced so much adversity this year, and like where people thought, oh, they fell off. You know, they're barely beating shitty teams. You know, like the USC game, they barely like a lot of times it was like, oh, is Washington real?
I
And
think that's
all
the
year
best
long,
part.
they've been like, yeah, dude,
It's
yeah.
another best
It's
part of
like,
this
what the fuck?
matchup
Like,
is that it's two teams that have been very heavily bet against, especially the last couple weeks.
yeah.
Like Michigan,
And
no
it's
chance
like,
against Bama. People weren't giving them. I mean, people were giving them a little
yeah,
chance against the Bucks, but still thought they'd lose that game. Same with Washington. No chance against Oregon again.
yeah,
No chance against Texas. And both these teams keep
yeah.
winning. So it's like where does the thing break here?
But yeah, it's just I think that we get a good game. Let's go over. Let's wrap this up though, because your boy can't hear anything anymore. Sorry for being abrupt.
God damn it. Can you hear me a little bit now? Still?
Mike's a
Motherfucker.
loser.
All right. Well, I have a Harbaugh theory that we need to get into next week because I think it's really juicy. It involves Jim Harbaugh going to an AFC North team, and I think it might break the internet. So, and hey, first, fuck the commercials. And both of these playoff games, fuck the commercials. We watched 3 hours of commercials. I had to bring a little bit of light to this. We watched 3 hours of commercials and 1 hour of football. It was bullshit, especially the Rose Bowl. When you go from touchdown, commercial, kickoff, commercial, it's insane.
Starts to piss you the fuck off.
Oh,
dude, that's what I was actually going to say real quick before we get out of here. Aaron and I are sitting there watching the fucking game. It was overtime when Bama had the ball. They were going down to score. It was timeout, commercial, got up, ran the clock down or whatever, timeout again, and then commercial, a third timeout, another commercial.
Oh, dude.
And then they go to snap the ball. Me and Aaron were like a minute and a half behind like the actual ESPN broadcast. My buddy Ethan hops in the chat. Yo, did you guys see Michigan just won? I just about fucking lost every last marble that I had, bro. I
Oh
was like, "Are
my
you?"
God.
I just watched all of these commercials to hear
For
the
nothing.
ending before I even saw it,
To
bro.
hear the ending on Discord. To read about
I
it.
almost fucking freaked out, dude.
That's
Yeah, I was
insane.
pissed. Yeah, fuck those commercials. Fuck Mike's headphones.
Yep.
And fuck Brad
And
Holmes.
go blue. Official score prediction, Jack? Any official score prediction?
Dude, I think it's going to be another defensive showdown. I think it's going to be like a 17-23 game. Michigan takes it.
Ooh, hell yeah. I love
I think
that.
we take the -4.5 though.
I'm gonna go 31-27 Michigan.
Okay.
Washington barely covers. Michigan wins.
I like that. I like that a lot.
All right.
I pray to God. All right, good stuff.
That's it for the Fair Enough Podcast, episode 98. Happy New Year, everybody. We are psyched to spend year 3 with you. If you want a sweatshirt, call Maya and convince her to quit her job, and we'll send some of these out. We love you guys. Peace.
Deuce.